Hello, third grade. So today we are going to do 4 things. We're going to go over lesson 20, Riding in the Buggy, a new song. Then we're going to sing Old Mr. Rabbit, and you're going to write out the words and figure out that internal upbeat, the thing we talked about last week, all right? Then we're going to sing I Lost the Farmer's Dairy Key and figure out where the internal upbeat is in that. Then you're going to play 2 games. One is a game where you make up your own song. Another one is where you kind of do a percussion showdown, and I'll show you what that looks like later, okay? But let's sing Riding in the Buggy, all right? This is how the song goes. Ready, listen. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, a long way from home. Who moan from me? Who moan from me? Who moan for me, my darling, who moan for me? All right, so this is how the song goes. Repeat after me. I'll sing each phrase. Ready? Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Your turn. Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary. Listen. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Your turn. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Listen. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Your turn. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Listen. Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? Your turn. Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? Listen to the first 2 phrases. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Your turn. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Listen. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? Your turn. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? All right, I'll sing the whole thing, and you'll sing after me. Ready? Listen first. So riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? All right, your turn. A 1 and a 2 and a sing with me. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane, Miss Mary Jane. Riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane. I'm a long way from home. Who moan for me? Who moan for me? Who moan for me, my darling? Who moan for me? Very nice, friends. And you'll hear those rhythms. Tika 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 tika. Do you hear that? Tika 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 tika. Those are all rhythms that we've been doing, right? So now, friends, we're gonna sing Old Mr. Rabbit, and let's just sing it once, and then I'll have you get out a piece of paper and a marker or a pencil. Ready? But sing it first. Ready and go. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit of jumping in the garden and eating all my cabbage. Try by yourself, but ready and go. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit, jumping in the garden and eating all my cabbage. All right, so now get out a piece of paper, and you're going to draw 4 rows of 4 hearts. So actually, it'll look something like this. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on mine, but I'm not going to do it paper. I'm going to do it on my board like this. So if you need to pause your video, you can pause it, but get a marker or a pencil and a paper. And this is what it's going to look like. Ready? I have my paper here. I'm going to draw 4 hearts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 beats in the first phrase. Then I'll do another one, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Okay, so 12 more. 7, 8, 8 more, okay? 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 more. 13, 14, 15, and 16, okay? So if you need to pause it, friends, draw those 16 beats. Make sure it's 4 rows of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, okay? So if you have unpaused, great. That means you're finished. If you need to pause it, you can still pause it. Now, what we're gonna do is first I want you to sing the whole thing, Old Mr. Rabbit, and tap all the hearts as we go along. Remember, each heart stands for each beat, right? 1 and 2 and tap as we sing. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit of jumping in the garden and eating all my cabbage. So, now I want you to write the word that belongs on every beat 1 of the phrase. So, Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit, jumping in the garden, eating all my cabbage. Okay? So the first phrase, Old Mr. Rabbit, the word here is old, right? So write the word old. You can write it inside the heart or right above the heart. I'm going to write it inside. Let's do the next phrase. You've got a mighty habit. You've got a mighty habit. Got, right? We did this last week. I want to see maybe if you can do this next 2 phrases by yourself, all right? So I'll give you a few seconds. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit of... Keep going. If you need to pause the video, you can, but I'll be quiet for a little bit so you can concentrate. If you want to pause the video and give yourself more time, you can do that. I'm going to show you what I have, okay? So we started off and we had, Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got a mighty habit. Then the next 2 phrases are of jumping. Jumping is the beat 1 of that 3rd phrase. In the garden and eating. That's a beat 1 of the 4th phrase, right? All my cabbage. So the four notes, or the 4 words we have for the beginning of each phrase is old, got, jumping, eating. Got it? Now, the last thing is I want you to write the first word of every phrase. Mr. Carl, isn't it the same thing? Not necessarily. For the first phrase, it is. Old is the first word of the phrase, and it's the word that belongs on beat 1. But remember, some of these phrases start right before the beat. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got, so got is on the first beat, but what's the first word of the phrase? You, right? Does you belong before or after got? You've got, does it belong before or after got? You've got before, right? So I would put you've here. Old Mr. Rabbit, you've got. Do you see that? Can you figure out what the other 2 words here are? I'll give you a few seconds and try to figure it out. Remember, this is called internal upbeat, and I'll explain exactly what that is after we do this, so I'll be quiet for a second. If you need to pause the video and give yourself more time, you can. I'm going to show you what I have right now, okay? So, for internal upbeat, we have you've got for that second phrase. The 3rd phrase is of jumping in the garden and eating all my... So of is the beginning of the phrase, and is the beginning of that 4th phrase. So I put those here too, okay? So now let's tap it again, and we're going to sing only the words that we have. The first beat of each phrase, and the first word of every phrase, not the rest. Ready? 1 and 2 and sing. Here we go. Old, you've got, of jumping and eating. Again, go. Old, you've got, of jumping and eating. All right. Very nice, friends. Remember, this is called an internal upbeat. Now, this is what this word means, okay? When a note belongs or comes before the strong beat of a phrase, it's called an upbeat. So, you've is called your upbeat. You've got, because got is the strong beat, it's a steady beat, right? But if it comes before, it's called an upbeat. Because this upbeat occurs inside the piece of music, in other words, not at the beginning, it's inside, it's in the middle, we call it an internal upbeat, all right? So, you've got a mighty habit of jumping in the garden and eating all my cabbage. You've, of, and, those are all internal upbeats because they're not at the beginning, okay? Here we go. So, here's an example of an external upbeat. I lost the farmer's, did you hear that? Lost is on the beat. I lost the farmer's dairy key. But I comes before, so that's an external upbeat because it's at the beginning. But listen to this song. There is one internal upbeat in this song. Let's sing it if you know it. Ready? I lost the farmer's dairy key. I'm in some lady's garden. Do let me out. I'm in some lady's garden. It's actually two of them, but it's the same word. Did you hear it? If you hear the internal upbeat, raise your hand as we do it. Ready? I lost the farmer's dairy key. I'm in some lady's garden. Do let me out. I'm in some lady's garden. Did you hear it? If you raise your hand on the word I'm, you're right. Listen for the word I'm and raise your hand. Ready? I lost the farmer's dairy key. I'm in some. Did you hear the I'm is on the upbeat? I'm in. Happens again later. I lost the farmer's dairy key. I'm in some lady's garden. Do let me out. I'm in some lady's garden. Did you hear that? All right, very nice, friends. So the last thing is I have 2 games for you to play today, okay? I'll put the link in the description of this YouTube video and in the Google Classroom post, okay? And if I forget, please email me and I'll make sure to put it in there, okay? There are 2 games. One is you're gonna create your own melody, and then you're going to click on which of the 2 or the 3 options is yours. For example, there's gonna be a bunch of boxes. You're gonna make your own melody and then press start. Then the computer is going to play for you 3 different melodies, and you have to pick which is the one that you made, all right? The other game is called the Percussion Showdown, where it's you versus the computer, and it's kind of like the Wild Wild West, where you have two people kind of going against each other. One person will do a beat, or a rhythm like this, boom, on some timpanis, or a snare drum, or some other percussion instrument. You have to copy that rhythm and then add a beat. So let's pretend that my friend Jasmine here, oh my God, hi Jasmine, hi! Let's pretend that Jasmine is the person on the other side, hi! Let's pretend that she does like the rhythm on the drums, bam! So I would go, bam, bam! Did you hear how I copied her and then I added one more? So now that she has to copy me and add one more, bam, bam, woo! So I have to go now, bam, bam, woo! So then she has to go, bam, bam, woo! Woo! Then I have to go, bam, bam, woo, woo, woo. Hear that? So then she has to go, bam, bam, woo, woo, woo. So I go, bam, bam, woo, woo, woo. So you always add one more. You copy what they're doing and add one more. So there'll be a bunch of drums on your side, a bunch of drums on the and drums and different percussion instruments on your opponent's side, and you have to see if you can last longer than that person, okay? So you can even see what your high score is and send it to Mr. Kyle. But try those 2 games, friends. One is about melody, one's about rhythm, all right? And both, you have to use your head and really, really think about what you played and what you made, or what your opponent played, all right? I can't wait to see you guys next time, and have fun. Bye! Bye, everybody!